Did you know that 73% of American women admit their partners never compliment them the right way? But here's the shocking truth. Every day, millions of men are destroying their chances with women using these three deadly words: "You look beautiful." And they have no idea why they're failing. Statutes. Today, I'm going to show you 8 dangerous compliments. Dangerous because they're so powerful, they can make any woman addicted to your presence. But first, let me warn you. These compliments are so effective, they can make a woman think about you for weeks, even months after hearing them. Use them responsibly. Modern men are failing because they're using the same tired, predictable compliments that every other guy uses. They're competing in a race to the bottom. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You look amazing. These words have lost all meaning. They're white noise in a woman's ear. The ancient Stoics understood something modern men have forgotten. True influence comes not from what you say, but from what your words make others feel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The same applies to compliments. Don't argue about what works. Learn what actually does. But here's where it gets dangerous. These compliments don't just make her like you, they make her need to understand you. They create psychological loops that keep you in her mind. I'm about to give you weapons of mass attraction. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. These aren't pickup lines, they're psychological keys. Are you ready to learn what separates the men who get forgotten from the men who become unforgettable? Let's begin with the first dangerous compliment. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why some men can say one sentence and completely change how a woman sees them forever? Here's the first dangerous compliment that intelligent men avoid because they know how addictive it can be. That fragrance you're wearing, it's absolutely intoxicating. While every other man is telling her she looks beautiful, something she's heard 1,000 times, you're accessing something far more powerful: her limbic system. Harvard neuroscientists discovered that scent bypasses rational thought and connects directly to memory and emotion. This is why her perfume can trigger feelings she can't even explain. When you compliment her scent, you're not just noticing her choice. You're acknowledging that her presence lingers in your mind, even after she's gone. And that's intoxicating to any woman. I know a couple married for 40 years. He still remembers the exact scent she wore on their first date. Not her dress, not her hairstyle, her perfume. That's the power of scent memory. But here's the crucial part: timing. You don't blurt this out like a desperate teenager. You wait for the right moment, when she's close enough that you can genuinely notice her scent. You lean in slightly, lower your voice, and with complete sincerity say, "That fragrance you're wearing, it's absolutely intoxicating." Then you pause. Let it sink in. Watch her reaction. Her pupils will dilate. She'll unconsciously touch her neck or wrist, and she'll smile. Not a polite smile, but a genuine one. You've just accessed her emotional center. But here's where most men fail. They get too dramatic. "You smell like heaven," or they compare. "You smell better than my ex." Don't be that guy. Here's what happens next. Every time she puts on that perfume, she'll think of you. You've created a psychological anchor. That's not manipulation. That's understanding human psychology. The Stoics taught that true power comes from understanding, not force. When you compliment her scent, you're showing that you pay attention to details others miss. That's attractive intelligence. But if you think complimenting her scent is powerful, wait until you discover what happens when you acknowledge something even more dangerous: her energy. This next compliment can literally change the chemistry of a room. Here's the second dangerous compliment that separates amateurs from masters. Your smile could brighten up an entire room. But here's why most men get this completely wrong. ... When you say nice smile or pretty smile, you're commenting on her teeth, her lips, physical features. But when you say her smile brightens a room, you're recognizing her power to change energy itself. UC Berkeley researchers discovered that genuine smiles trigger mirror neurons in others. This creates what scientists call emotional contagion. Her positive energy literally rewires the brains of everyone around her. Watch this. Have you ever seen someone walk into a stressed, tense room and suddenly everyone feels lighter? That's not charm. That's psychological influence, and it's incredibly rare. Epictetus taught that we should focus on our sphere of influence, what we can control. A woman whose smile can change a room's energy, she understands this instinctively. She's not just beautiful, she's powerful. Here's the key: timing. You don't deliver this compliment when she's just standing there. You wait until you've witnessed her smile actually change the energy around her. Then you acknowledge what you've observed. You look her in the eyes with complete sincerity and say, "Your smile could brighten up an entire room. I just watched it happen." The specificity makes it powerful. You're not just complimenting, you're observing. Watch her face. She's not just hearing a compliment about her appearance. She's being recognized for her influence. You've just told her that her presence matters, that she has power. That's intoxicating. But here's where men fail. They say it generically. "You have a nice smile." Or they shout it across a room. Or they say it when she's not even smiling. Context is everything. Here's what happens next. She becomes more conscious of her positive impact. She starts to own her power to influence others. You haven't just complimented her, you've awakened her to her own strength. The Stoics understood that recognition of virtue strengthens virtue. When you acknowledge her ability to brighten a room, you're not just making her feel good, you're encouraging her to use that power more consciously. But if you think recognizing her energy is powerful, wait until you discover the compliment that touches something even deeper: her authenticity. In a world full of filters and fake personas, this next compliment is revolutionary. Here's the third dangerous compliment that cuts through the noise of our fake world. "I love how real you are. You don't try to fit in, you're just you." In the age of Instagram filters, this is revolutionary. Studies show 67% of social media posts use filters or heavy editing. Everyone's trying to be someone else's version of perfect. But authenticity? That's become the rarest luxury in our world. Brené Brown's research at the University of Houston proved that vulnerability and authenticity create deeper connections than perfection ever could. When someone chooses to be real, they're choosing courage over comfort. There are two types of women in this world: those who perform for validation and those who simply exist as themselves. Intelligent men always choose authenticity because they understand character is fate. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Character is fate." The Stoics understood that external beauty fades, but character, authenticity, integrity, courage, these create lasting attraction. This is why authentic women are magnetic. Here's how you recognize authenticity. She admits when she's wrong, she's not afraid to look silly. She expresses opinions that might be unpopular. She's not performing, she's just being. That's when you strike. You look at her with genuine respect and say, "I love how real you are." You don't try to fit in, you're just you. But here's the crucial part: you mean it. She can tell the difference between genuine appreciation and empty flattery. Watch her reaction. In a world where everyone tells her to change, to be more this or less that, you've just told her that who she is right now is enough. That's not just a compliment, that's validation of her soul. But here's the warning. Only say this if you can handle an authentic woman. Authentic women don't play games. They don't pretend, and they expect the same from you. They're not for weak men. Here's the fourth dangerous compliment that separates intellectual seducers from amateur flirts. I love the way you see the world. It's so unique, it really makes me think. This is intellectual foreplay at its finest. Neuroscientists discovered that intellectual stimulation releases more dopamine than physical attraction. When you engage her mind, you're literally creating an addiction to your thoughts. This is why intellectual connection is so powerful. While other men are talking about the weather or last night's game, you're exploring her worldview. You're not just making conversation, you're making connection. There's a massive difference. Socrates taught that the unexamined life is not worth living. When you ask her about her worldview, you're not just being curious. You're inviting her to examine her own thoughts. That's intellectually intimate. Here's how you identify a unique worldview. She questions common assumptions. She sees patterns others miss. She connects ideas in unexpected ways. When you spot this, that's your moment to acknowledge her intellectual gift. You lean forward slightly, make eye contact, and with genuine curiosity say, I love the way you see the world. It's so unique. It really makes me think. Then you ask a follow-up question that shows you're genuinely interested in her thoughts. Watch what happens. Most women are constantly complimented on their looks, but rarely on their thoughts. When you appreciate her mind, you're accessing something much deeper than physical attraction. You're connecting with her essence. Here's the fifth dangerous compliment that successful men use to identify their tribe. I love your energy. It's contagious. It makes me want to be the best version of myself. But first, let me show you why this is crucial for your success. Jim Rohn said, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Successful men understand this instinctively. They don't just choose partners based on looks, they choose based on energy, because energy is everything. Stanford researchers proved that emotions are literally contagious. Spend time with negative people and you become negative. Spend time with positive, driven people and you become positive and driven. It's not philosophy, it's neuroscience. Here's what energy vampires do. They complain constantly. They focus on problems without solutions. They make everything about their drama. After spending time with them, you feel exhausted, unmotivated, and smaller. Avoid them at all costs. But energy givers, they see possibilities. They encourage growth. They make you feel like you can conquer the world. After spending time with them, you feel inspired, motivated, and ready to take on bigger challenges. These are the people you want in your life. Here's how you recognize an energy giver and deliver this compliment. You watch her interact with others. You notice how she makes people feel, and then you acknowledge it. I love your energy. It's contagious. It makes me want to be the best version of myself. Here's the 6th dangerous compliment that separates men of character from boys chasing beauty. You're honestly one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met. You really care about others, and it shows. This compliment targets something rarer than beauty: character. Tinder culture has trained men to judge women like products in a catalog. But intelligent men know that looks fade, trends change, but character is forever. That's what creates lasting relationships. Research shows that empathy and thoughtfulness are the strongest predictors of relationship success. More than physical attraction, more than compatibility. It's the ability to truly care about another person's well-being that makes relationships last. The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When you find a woman who embodies these, who is thoughtful, brave, fair, and balanced, you've found something infinitely more valuable than beauty. Here's how you spot thoughtfulness. She remembers details about your conversations. She checks in when you're having a tough time. She celebrates your wins without making it about her. These aren't grand gestures, they're consistent patterns of care. When you've witnessed her thoughtfulness, you look her in the eyes and say, "You're honestly one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met. You really care about others, and it shows." This isn't just a compliment, it's recognition of her soul. Here are the final 2 dangerous compliments that complete the arsenal. "I love how driven you are. Your sense of purpose is seriously inspiring." And "You have this incredible way of making people feel comfortable and truly valued." These target the rarest combination: ambition with heart. Weak men are intimidated by ambitious women. Strong men are attracted to them. When you see a woman with real drive, building something, creating something, pursuing something meaningful, that's when you acknowledge her fire. But here's what makes a woman truly dangerous: when she combines ambition with emotional intelligence. She can read people, create harmony, and make everyone feel valued while still pursuing her own goals. That's rare power. Here's your final warning. These compliments create psychological bonds that can last for years. Use them wisely. With great power comes great responsibility. You're not just attracting her, you're potentially changing her life. The Stoics taught that influence should be used to build, not destroy, to elevate, not manipulate. When you use these compliments, you're not just getting what you want, you're helping her become the best version of herself. That's true power. These 8 compliments are your weapons of mass attraction. But remember, they're not pickup lines. They're keys to genuine connection. Use them to build something beautiful, not just to get something temporary. The choice is yours. But let's go deeper. Why do these specific compliments work when others fail? It's all about psychological triggers that most men never understand. Each compliment targets a different part of her emotional architecture. The scent compliment doesn't just make her feel good. It creates what psychologists call an episodic memory anchor. Every time she wears that perfume, she relives the moment you noticed her. You become part of her daily ritual. When you compliment her energy, you're fulfilling what Maslow called esteem needs, the deep human need to be recognized for our positive impact on others. Most people never receive this level of acknowledgement. But here's where most men destroy everything. They learn these compliments and immediately start using them like pickup lines. That's not just ineffective, it's offensive. Let me show you the critical mistakes that ruin everything. Mistake number 1, terrible timing. You can't just walk up to a woman who's clearly busy or stressed and deliver these lines. Context is everything. Wait for the right moment when she's receptive and the situation is appropriate. Mistake number 2, insincerity. Women have incredibly sensitive bullshit detectors. If you're just using these as lines without genuine appreciation, she'll know instantly. Authenticity cannot be faked. Mistake number 3, overdoing it. These compliments are powerful precisely because they're rare. If you use all 8 in one conversation, you'll seem desperate and overwhelming. Less is more. Quality over quantity. Here's the truth that separates men from boys. With these psychological tools comes enormous responsibility. You can use them to manipulate and take, or you can use them to appreciate and build. The choice defines your character. Marcus Aurelius taught, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." True influence should elevate both people. When you genuinely appreciate her qualities, you're not just attracting her, you're helping her recognize her own worth. This is what ethical influence looks like. Both people become better versions of themselves. She becomes more confident in her authentic self, and you become more appreciative and observant. That's not manipulation. That's mutual elevation. Here's what happens when you use these compliments ethically over time. She develops unshakable confidence in her authentic self, and you develop the ability to see and appreciate depth in others. This creates relationships that last decades, not just dates. True mastery isn't about using these compliments to get women. It's about developing the ability to genuinely see and appreciate the best in people. When you reach this level, attraction becomes natural because you've become naturally attractive. And here's the beautiful part. When you appreciate others authentically, they learn to do the same. You create ripple effects of genuine connection and mutual appreciation that extend far beyond your own relationships. The Stoics taught that we become what we repeatedly do. If you repeatedly practice genuine appreciation, you become genuinely appreciative. If you repeatedly seek to understand others, you become truly understanding. This is the path to authentic influence. These 8 compliments aren't just tools for attraction. They're tools for becoming the kind of man worthy of an extraordinary woman. Use them not to take, but to give. Not to manipulate, but to appreciate. Not to conquer, but to connect. The choice and the power are yours.